Coming up now on Animal Outtakes, from lemurs and leopards to timber wolves and tigers, we're visiting Tales of the Wild in Polk City, Florida, where mental and physical stimulation for the animals is a top priority. Join us as we explore this sanctuary and get up close to some incredible creatures. Plus, the first cold stunned turtles of the year are being treated. We're learning what goes into this careful process and what specialized systems are in place to treat these sick sea turtles. And state officials have formally listed this animal as endangered. Why this designation may help save the species. Don't go anywhere. Animal Outtakes starts now. It's a sanctuary that houses neglected and abused wildlife, and it's called Tales of the Wild. Each animal with its own story of how it ended up here in Central Florida. From law enforcement confiscations to well-meaning pet surrenders, every animal has its own tale to tell. And if you learn how to listen, well, that's where the magic of connection happens. It's located just off the beaten path, far enough from development to make you feel like you've been transported somewhere else. And as you will see around each corner, there's a new ambassador ready to engage and to educate us about the importance of conservation.
I literally could sit here and watch them all day. It's so surreal being able to do this with these beautiful creatures. Hi. And I do spend a lot of time with this one. She'll come on over to me when I'm in the enclosure and she'll throw her entire body on top of me and give me a big old hug.
Anne-Marie Pondo's demeanor automatically relaxes when her focus shifts to the animals.
Oh, hi. Good girl. Oh, does that feel so good? Good girl. Now this is what I was talking about earlier, is how they come up and are very happy to see us. This is what we want for all our animals here at Tales. And it also, another thing it helps with is vet work. So when we try to do stuff with them, it makes it a little easier on us because they trust us, right? So instead of having to try to do it through a cage sometimes, or enclosure, or bars, you can give them shots just by hand. And they'll come right up to you and you do the sedation shot real easy, or any other shots in that matter.
As manager of Tales of the Wild in Polk City, Florida, it's her job to care for these animals for the rest of their lives.
Tales of the Wild is a nonprofit animal sanctuary. It was created for neglected and abused wildlife, including a black leopard. But can you find him? Do you see Shadow anywhere by any chance? I don't know where Shadow could be, do I? Shadow, where are you? Where is Shadow? Is he there? Is he? There he is! Hi, big guy. So this is Shadow. He's a black leopard, also known as a black panther. The reason for that is because you can't always see his spots, especially when he's in the shade. When the sun hits his body, you'll be able to see those beautiful spots as he's walking. And then in the shade, he looks as black as night. These are the smaller cats on the chain list. Fortunately, they are around 100 pounds, so that means lions and tigers are their predators out in the wild, also as poachers. So poachers do hunt these guys. There might be a few more of them out in the wild today than your standard Bengal tiger, but they are still trying to fight for survival. Now he's here to be able to help us with different bloodlines of leopards because he had one too many in his litter born, and he's just a really cool guy. He's about up to a year and I think 2 months now, a year to 3 months old, so he's still just a baby. They are solitary creatures out in the wild, so that's why he doesn't have a friend just yet, but we would love to find him a mate later on. Yep, he loves that. You can't see him, right? At all. He'll tend to hide behind these big logs here too. We have tigers, lions, wolves, as well as leopards. As you might hear, we have some rough lemurs, ringtails. We have quite a few different animals. We have up to 66 different species. Those are the rough lemurs. We have black and white and red, and I'm going to be offering them some treats so you guys can see them up close and personal. So this one is Luna, and we have Gaia. They are endangered species due to the lack of habitat and poaching. They do not like to share their treats, as you can see. They mean the world to us because they came over to us and donated due to help out with bloodlines. Sometimes when they do meet and greets with people, it doesn't always work out very well and will become a retirement home for different species. So these are red ruff lemurs. They're just a different subspecies from the other lemur, and they're about one of the largest species of lemur out there in the world. They're not great pets, I would say. Primates aren't. They need a lot of care. A lot of people don't realize how much time you need to spend with them, but they do mean the world to us. And just being able to do this with him still, I used to go in with them when they were younger, but as they've gotten older, you know, that changes over time. Being able to still give them some arm pat scratches and belly rubs are the best, even if it's like this. These are ringtail lemurs. They all came to us for various different reasons. Miss Mia down here on the ground, she's over on this side, came to us from another conservationist facility. Unfortunately, the ringtail lemur troop didn't accept her anymore. And then Prima was a rehome. She was one of the instances to where she was a pet for a little while. They just realized it wasn't going to work out very well because she became a little bit aggressive. What a lot of people don't realize on these guys are the females are the hierarchy, so they do have those aggressive traits, especially in ringtail lemurs. They have to live in troops. If they're not in a troop, they can become very depressed and very lonely and sad. So giving them friends, having that troop requirement for them is something that's super important. Hi.
Part of the job is to learn how to communicate with each of the animals here.
How we communicate is being able to learn how they communicate. So a tiger chuffs, we'll do a chuff back. That's a trusting sound. Back chuff. Are you playing? Yeah, hi. Hi, pretty girl. Good girl. You can give me kisses? Why, thank you. I know my hands are dirty. They need to be clean.
She's worked for years to gain the respect of the big cats, which allows her to experience this kind of connection. Her passion for animals was instilled early on and has given her purpose.
So I've always had a passion when I was growing up. It started back years ago, long story short. My mom passed away in 2010 to cancer. I started taking care of my dad full time, and then I met Jared's old partner, and he introduced me to the tigers. Later on, I met him, and it's something I never knew that I could do. I was working with all these exotic animals, and it gave me purpose and a place that I felt fulfilled and at home again. We like to respect their space. We don't want to force ourselves on them. We go in as long as they allow us to be in that enclosure with them. And it's something that means something truly close to my heart, because earning that respect from a tiger, a lion, or any other animal is just out of this world.
Pondo says they work to make the enclosures large and give the animals naturalistic settings, and believe heavily in enrichment, stimulating the animals physically and mentally in hopes of giving them the best possible life.
So who we have in here is Charlie and Chester. Charlie is the chunky one, and then the little tinier one over here, this is Chester.
She didn't call you chunky.
I didn't call her. No, I did. He's like, talk to the butt. So they love to come up for treats, so that's why they're straight up and close right now. They are known as the largest rodent in the world. People love these guys. They are a super docile creature, native to South America. These guys are very aquatic. That's why there's a huge pond in this enclosure, so that way they can go down and soak in the water, especially during the hot months of the summer. Yeah, and they have the nickname Poopy Bars because they love to poop in the water. But there's a very good reason why they do that. The reason they poop in the water is to be able to hide their scent from predators out in the wild.
Tales of the Wild was created by a man named Jared Davis. With a long resume of working with big cats, he brought his passion to Central Florida, where he started this nonprofit to create a home for unwanted, abused, and neglected wildlife.
Tales of the Wild began years ago. Jared Davis created it. He's the CEO of Tales of the Wild. And then he also worked for Siegfried and Roy, which was really cool. He started out as an animal trainer. But we have Larry at the top, up there, and Virginia's down the bottom. So they were rescues from a truck driver. And the reason they were rescues from a truck driver is because her arm got shut off by the door, unfortunately. Now, what Larry's doing to me, it took me 6 years for this to happen. So much trust is involved. He's the troop leader, and he used to just want to hurt me, smack me, be so mean. And from all the time I spent with them, even just through the bars, this is a type of relationship that you can create with these guys. And you can see they're licking their tongues because they're looking for little bugs. And they tend to think my freckles and scars are bugs. Now, the truck driver did used to visit them, and he loved them very much, but you just can't have monkeys on a truck, so that's why they had to get rehomed.
The team here has turned the sanctuary into a place focused on education. Many of the animals are rescues. None can be released back into the so-called wild. They give tours by reservation and earn their money as a nonprofit through donations. And they're also working on a new concept where you will be able to book a night at their place in the lodge where you can spend your time eye to eye with a tiger.
Creating a lodging experience where people can come stay overnight with lions, tigers, and wolves. Super exciting. We hope it captivates people in a different way to be able to observe these beautiful creatures overnight. So that is Boris. He's an African crested porcupine. As you might be able to see, he brings in a lot of goodies in his house to preserve for later, whether it may be bark, clippings, or chews. Come here, Boris. Let's see if he'll come on out. Now these guys are nocturnal. There he comes. So they're nocturnal creatures. That's why he is in his house still, because he's waiting until it gets super dark. He loves to take his food, and sometimes he'll take it back in his house, or he might lay right back down there and hold it with his little cute paws. A lot of people don't know they can get up to about 65 pounds when they're full grown. Now he's just over 2 years old, and he's stomping his foot there to let you know that this is his territory. He's very sweet, but he can also be very sour.
I don't.
Something else about Boris is he can be able to protect himself out in the wild. An African crested porcupine in the wild will actually use those quills. They're so dangerous that they can kill a full-grown African lion or even a human being. A lot of people don't realize that, but they are severely sharp and they'll stab through whatever that surface might be. The way he protects himself is those quills will stand straight up on his back, and then he will hook his body or ram right into whatever that surface might be. And once it stabs something, those quills will detach and get stuck in. No, they don't have barbs. I get asked that a lot. It's only American porcupines that do. We give them really big enclosures, and things that we look to do is be able to offer them care for a lifetime and be able to help preserve the species once again and show them that we care to make a difference and be their activists, to be the people that speak up for them. So we have 5 in this wolf pack. So what's really cool is Nova is the alpha. She is the wolf pack leader. Here she is. She's gonna come right up and say hi. Come here, sweet kid. Come on, good girl. Let her get footage. There you go, yay. So she's a big lover, as you can see. She loves to come right on over and she'll lay right down for me and let me rub all over her belly. Everybody absolutely loves Nova. Don't let her fool you though. She does have that alpha streak in her, especially with all the rest of the wolf pack here. The one that's behind her, it looks just like her. That is her daughter Willow. We have her son Zeus, the brown one, then Atlas, the other son, and Kira in the back. Now they're all different colors because it helps them to be able to blend in the wild. Good girl. All right, come here, girls. All the way up. Here. Right here, play attention. Uh-oh. Here, mommy dropped it. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, all the way up. Good girls, there you go. Now you can imagine having 2 at one time, right? Sometimes it takes us 1 day, and sometimes it'll take us 7 days to be able to trim all those walls. It's just depending on if they will let us do it or not. But I just really want them to see our passion and how much we care for them and how much we want to make a difference and how happy they seem, how well cared for they are. It's not even just a job, it's all these animals are family to me. These are not just animals I teach about, they're my children in the end of the day. Good girls. You sound like a cow. Did you know that? Yeah.
And for more about this sanctuary, you can visit talesofthewild.net. Coming up next on Animal Outtakes, a mass stranding event produces the first cold-stunned turtles of the season. And we see how the Florida Aquarium is all hands on deck to get these endangered animals back to health. And that's next.
What happens to your pet if something happens to you? It's a tough question, but an important one. At Dante's Den Foundation, we offer a solution. It's called Lifetime Care, a way to ensure your pet continues to live the life you've always shared. It's a chance to determine exactly what happens to your beloved friend in the event of your passing. For more on how you can provide the kind of life your pet deserves, visit us at dantesden.org.
Welcome back. It's that time of year where the cold weather continues to make its appearance. And for sea turtles, that could have dire consequences. Two juvenile green sea turtles named Patriot and Seahawk arrived on Super Bowl Sunday to the Florida Aquarium's Sea Turtle Rehabilitation Center in Apollo Beach. Officials with the aquarium say sea turtles recently faced water temperatures that plunged into the 50s following an Arctic blast. And that caused hundreds of green sea turtles to strand off the Gulf Coast along Florida's panhandle.
Sea turtles are reptiles, and when they get too cold, their bodies start to shut down, they become lethargic, and then they can even form secondary infections, things like pneumonia, bone infections, or other issues.
In just a short time, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission has rescued more than 600 cold-stunned sea turtles. Then they determined 2 of those turtles needed more than gradual warming and supportive care. So they brought them to the team you see here for advanced treatment. The 2 turtles underwent comprehensive intake exams, where specialists checked their eyes and heart rate and assessed barnacles and injuries. And they also performed swim tests to evaluate their strength and buoyancy.
So what we're seeing is they do have some barnacles on their carapace, or that upper shell. Some of them also have some lacerations or wounds from whatever ended up happening to them while they were out in the wild, and then some issues with eyes as well.
Biologists say cold stunning leaves sea turtles immobile, and that's when you can see them floating at the surface or washing ashore. While many cold-stunned turtles get better with gradual warming, some are so sick that they need advanced medical care.
These turtles, because of secondary infections and other medical needs, will be with us longer term. We see them stay with us anywhere from 3 months, even upwards of a year. During that time, we'll continue to run blood work, we'll take x-rays, and even go so far as to take them for CT scans if they need to get a better look at everything happening inside our turtles. Sea turtle work is really important, and we've also seen that it can make a big difference. We did just have the green sea turtles move down from endangered this year to a lower classification, but that doesn't mean our work is over. That just means that our work is working. We want to increase our populations, and what we do right now for our sea turtle populations will be seen 10, 20, 30 years from now in overall population.
To keep up on the progress of these survivors and the work that is underway, you can see it in person. Florida Aquarium Sea Turtle Rehabilitation Center is open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. November through April with free admission. And as always, go to flaquarium.org for more information. Stick around, there's more animal outtakes coming up after the break. We close our show today with some news from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. Recently in Tallahassee, the FWC gave its final approval to add the Florida reef gecko to the state's threatened and endangered species list. They received a request to evaluate this species back in 2021. Reports say agency biologists and outside experts completed a biological status review report, which found the species met listing criteria due to its restricted range and projected future population declines. The Florida reef gecko is a small lizard that lives in coastal South Florida, including the Florida Keys. And according to records, it is most often found in moist, leaf-covered habitat in tropical hardwood hammocks. It can also be found in pinelands, vacant lots, and sometimes suburban areas. Recent surveys found the gecko in only 60% of its historical sites. Threats to the Florida reef gecko population include habitat loss and flooding from tropical storms, along with sea level rise, non-native species, and reptile diseases. As part of the Species Action Plan to improve the conservation status, the FWC will work with local governments, land managers, and researchers to try and preserve and manage habitat. And they'll also monitor populations and work to learn more about the species and its threats. Visit myfwc.com/listing for more on this process.
At Dante's Den Foundation, we let the dogs tell us who they are. We welcome our boarding friends with open arms and open hearts. When your pup spends time with us, we offer a personalized experience, from how they like to play to when they need to relax. Our staff is on site 24/7, and we honor dietary needs along with special requests. We do our best to make it a home away from home by providing a safe and comfortable environment. Dante's Den Foundation. It's a great place to be a dog.
Animal Outtakes is produced by Dante's Den Foundation, a nonprofit group dedicated to creating the best life for dogs. If you would like to learn more about Dante's Den, donate, or volunteer, visit our website, dantesden.org.
We hope you had fun and learned a thing or two along the way. And we'll be back here again next week with even more animals and some engaging and educational encounters. Until then, thanks for watching.
You're taking this all in right now. Oh, okay, I'll get there. Big old armpit. Big boy. What she's doing right now is she's kind of stalking you. She's saying, you can't see me, even though she's clearly right there. So some of our staff, if they can't go in with them, loves to play with them, and it's great stimulation for them, and we love for them to like people. That's why we do hands-on with these guys, because they're going to be in captivity for the rest of their lives. So we want to be able to offer that hands-on. And this is kind of what we live for, is for them to be able to be happy and have a good time. But what a lot of people don't realize is that they're just...
Yeah, can you get kisses?
Charlie could eat you out of house and home. That is why there's 3 bowls in there. Keep him busy. Now he does like to suck his toe too, so if you ever catch that, he does that. Yeah, he does that, but he's wanting you to pay attention to that so he can take whatever you have in your hands. One time he stole someone's glasses, and they were orange, and they never got them back. He looked right at them and he broke them into. That is good old Larry.